This one is hugely on trend if you're a cake maker and you're like me. Your news feed on social media is just full of other cake makers. Then you will have seen this type of cake doing the rounds, this design. It's just everywhere, and you can see why. The dried flowers are just absolutely stunning. They come in all different shapes and sizes and colours, and you can match them to literally any cake. This one is a rose gold theme, so we've got the dried palm leaf at the back, which is in this rose gold, and then this array of sort of creams and pinks. The balls on the cake are covered polystyrene balls. I've dipped them in candy melts, so some white and then some pinks, and then the shiny ones I dipped in chocolate to begin with, and then I've got some luster dusts that I have painted them over with, and then once they're dried, if you go over them with a bit of dry dust and buff it, you get this incredible sheen on them. And again, they can be done in absolutely any colour. So this one is again super on trend with the height of it. You probably can't get the gist of just how tall this cake is. It stands at about 9.5 inches tall. So it's a 6-inch round, this tall, slim look. And for my super tall cakes, for stability, I bake my sponges, stack and fill, split the layers into equal, top and bottom. So I've got 3 layers in the bottom, then a cake board right through the middle, a few dowels in the bottom, and then repeat the process, stack and fill at the top, and then just one single dowel in the top part. Now, for even more stability and security, you could put a dowel running all the way through the cake, but then you'd have to make sure that your board that goes through the middle, separating the two, had a hole in the middle as well, so that when you insert your dowel, it goes through the whole of the cake. But I find that the way I've done it with the board in the middle, a few dowels in the bottom, and then the next cake on the top with just one through the middle of it, I find that's adequate. The finish on this is Ganache as well, so that sets even firmer than buttercream. So again, the stability. I wouldn't like to do this in a buttercream just on its own, because we all know, even though buttercream crusts over and firms up really nicely, I wouldn't trust a cake this tall. It can be done and people do it, but no, my nerves wouldn't take it. So if I zoom in, you can see, you pick up the sort of textured details on this one as well. So we've got these little splashes of pink. I just coloured a little bit of my Ganache pink and took a offset spatula and just went all the way around where I wanted the pink to be, and then just with a small scraper just smoothed that out a little bit. And then I've got a beautiful stencil that's created this sort of wheat spike effect, it's called. I must apologise, my fingernails always look absolutely disgusting when I do these videos, but I can assure you it is just food colouring. I usually do my videos right after I've finished a cake, before it gets boxed up, so I'm covered from head to toe in buttercream, cake, food colouring. Anyway, so yeah, it's called a wheat spike stencil, and once I've sort of added these pink bits on, before I've added any of the sprinkles on, I pop it in the fridge, let it firm up a bit, and then mix my Ganache or whatever I want to use for the stencil And then once my cake's firm to the touch, pop the stencil on and go over it, and you get these little highlighted areas where I wanted the stencil detail to be. And then once that's done, pop it back in the fridge again to firm up and set really nicely. Then you can go around and add any of the detail you want to. So I've got these little pink rods, sprinkle rods, some little gold ones, some teeny tiny, if you can see the teeny tiny little pink sprinkles, some bigger white ones, some slightly bigger pink ones. As I say, this design is definitely very on trend at the minute, and as I said, you can see why. It's like a piece of art, isn't it? A lot going on. So these balls are just, if I bring the camera to the side, can you see this pink one at the top? You can see the cocktail stick there. So to dip them in the chocolate, I pop them on a cocktail stick, which is super handy because then once they're dry, you can just insert it straight into the cake. And they hold wherever you want them to be. The name on the front is an acrylic cake charm, which I've had personally made. I ordered that in. And then, as I say, the sort of very eye-catching feature on this one is the gorgeous array of dried flowers on top. And for this particular design, I've popped them on the top and then just a few coming out the side there. But these flowers you can place anywhere on a cake. I've seen some gorgeous designs where they've just been stuck on the side and not much else. Or you can have a hugely overloaded detailed cake like this. The paint splats, if you like, on this one are done mixing the same luster dust that I used to cover the balls with, quite a loose mix, and then just flicking it at the cake. So I've sort of stood back and freehand flicked it to get these bigger splotches. And then I've moved a bit close to the cake and then just flicked the ends of the paintbrush to get these sort of more more intense splotches. So there's lots and lots of techniques used on this type of cake, and I just absolutely love it. I absolutely love the contrast of the pinks and the whites and the sort of really, really pale cream of the cake itself. And of course, I keep going on about them, but these gorgeous dried flowers, they are special, aren't they? And they just look fabulous on a really tall cake like this. Bit of a showstopper piece, this one.